My name is Monica Gleberman, and you're listening to Silence on Set podcast. On today's podcast, we're speaking to Mia Isaac, who's in Hulu's new original series, Black Cake. The show is based off a New York Times bestselling book and is a family drama wrapped in a murder mystery with a diverse cast of characters and a global setting. The story takes place in Jamaica, Italy, Scotland, England, and Southern California. In the late 1960s, a runaway bride named Covey disappears into the surf off the coast of Jamaica and is feared drowned or a fugitive on the run for her husband's murder. In present-day California, a widow named Eleanor Bennett loses her battle with cancer, leaving her two estranged children, Brian and Benny, a flash drive that holds previously untold stories of her journey from her Caribbean adventures to America. So, to talk about what it was like being in the show and all about her character, here is Mia Isaac.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so excited to talk with you. You have no idea.
I'm so excited too.
Oh my gosh. You are so good in the show. So I should start off by saying that I'm obsessed with you. I love all of the work that you've ever done. And we're talking today specifically about Black Cake, which is on Hulu, and everybody can go stream a bunch of the episodes and check it out. You were just a fantastic actor. So I just have to start that off by every single thing I see you in, I'm like, oh my God, she's so good. And when you got this role, I was like, yes, because we get to see more of you specifically for a longer period of time. So just congratulations on landing the role to start off with.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So talk to me a little bit about what drew you in, because it's very heavy material. It's emotionally draining, specifically for your character because of kind of what she has to go through. So talk to me a little bit about what drew you into playing Covey, why you wanted to be part of Black, Cake, and what it meant to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to play with, and there's so much to be excited about with Covey. And when I got the audition, I mean, I couldn't have been happier. I mean, just reading it and seeing the literal description of the character of Covey when they said that she was biracial Chinese and Jamaican, that got me excited because I had never seen that in a character breakdown before. And then to keep reading and see everything that she goes through and everything that she endures was even more exciting, just because it's something that challenges me as an actor, and I had never been challenged that way before. And then I read the book with my parents, and we were all so deeply touched by Charmaine Wilkerson, who's the author of Black Cake. And I saw parts of, my Chinese heritage in the book, and I also saw parts of my Caribbean heritage in the book, and it just felt like my family story in a way, and I'm sure that's how it felt for a lot of other people reading the book and watching the show. And I just got so excited about it immediately. And when you get excited about something, you get scared. And so I was auditioning for it, and I was just scared, and it was daunting, but I was also just hoping that they would keep calling me back, and they did. And then somehow I got the role, which was even more exciting, but also even more daunting because now I had to do 8 episodes of it. And I had a lot of, imposter syndrome, but a lot of people believed in me. And I think that's what really, really pushed me.
So, when you get this role, like you said, you were super, I would have been freaking out too. You're super nervous, and you're oh my gosh, this is so perfect for me. But at the same time, there's so much that I have to do. How do you prepare for that? So now you got it. They give you the scripts. What do you start working on to create her? Because she is a younger version of an older character, and we're learning kind of a backstory after the fact, right? So how do you build that? How do you put those pieces together?
Yeah, I mean, I started working on Covey as a character before I got the role. I had this kind of gut feeling that I should just do whatever I can to prepare, because I mean, the audition period was over 3 months, and so I had just had time to prepare. and I made a playlist, and I started seeing a dialect coach after the first self-tape. And then there was, the swimming. I trained with some of my friends are professional swimmers, and so I trained with them, and it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but it was so exciting, and there was so much to work with there. So it was just a lot of fun too.
Did you also look to the fact that, she starts out as one woman with one name, very young woman, put in this horrible situation, and then has to move, which, like you said, a lot of people probably at the time had to deal with that completely alone in a completely different area, and then has to change her name. And ultimately, we're trying to figure out the connection between her, and then we find out with Eleanor Bennett's life, who we see kind of in the very beginning of the first episode. So for you, creating all of that and connecting it, was there any difficulty to make sure that that all made sense, not only to you as an actor, but to the audience that's watching it?
The easiest thing for me as an actor was to not focus on the present day stuff. So I kind of just I didn't read too much into it. I actually, I didn't meet Chipo until after we had wrapped all 8 episodes. And so people kept coming up to me and being like, "Oh my gosh, you and Chipo look just alike." And I was like, "I can't wait to meet her." And then like 8 months later we meet, and it's like, "Oh my God, I'm looking into a mirror." But yeah, so it was a lot of just trying to focus on being in the moment and focusing on what's right in front of me, because I feel like the show jumps back and forth so much that if I tried to focus on it all, it would have been really confusing. And so I kind of just took it day by day. I took it scene by scene. And I think that made it even cooler, because now that I'm watching it, I get to see all the present day stuff, and I had no idea about any of it. I just watched I think it was either episode 5 or 6 with Mabel, and all of that stuff was super cool. I hadn't seen any of it, read any of it, and Sunita, who plays Mabel, is great. So yeah, it's kind of like 2 different shows almost, So yeah.
And how has Covey, I want to come back to something really important you talked about with diversity, but how has Covey changed, or how does she change from the girl that's in the beginning being forced to kind of get married to a much older man, with given her circumstances financially and all of these various things, through to as the show progresses?
Yeah, I think when we first meet Covey, she's super confident in herself. She's about 16 going on 17, but she acts like she's 20. And she's free-spirited, and she swims, and she surfs, and she flirts, and she runs, and she laughs freely. And we just see this girl who fully believes in herself and who she is, and has a strong grip on her identity. And then as we follow her journey through this show, we see this girl lose herself and find herself questioning who she is, if she's worthy of even being alive. And it's a heartbreaking journey, and it was heartbreaking to portray. And she goes from having everything to having nothing. And hopefully, she builds herself back up. But that kind of trauma is something that you carry with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier, and this is a big thing for me in particular, and I'm white with blonde hair, a white girl, and I always bring this up because diversity is a huge issue, and I don't feel like we're at a point yet where we should be. We're getting closer every day, but we're not where we should be. So the fact that the breakdown that you said of the character, that's the first time I've ever heard a breakdown like that. So
Yeah.
what did it mean to you too, like, to be playing a character like that? Did you feel, because I know, like, for some actors you feel pressure, other actors want to push it away and just be like, I want to forget about it and just like do what I have to do and then like put it out in the world, but you are representing that to so many women, and it's not just young women, it's older women in the industry as well that have been desperately looking for a breakdown like that. So what did that mean to you to read it? I know, like you mentioned it earlier, but to really like have that sink in, like, this is a character you're playing, this exists, and we're going to show it on camera because it exists in the world.
Yeah. And not even does this character exist, but this character exists as a lead of a TV show, which is huge. I don't know that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would have been able to play a lead of a TV show. That's still a new thing. And yeah, there was a lot of pressure. When I got the audition, there was pressure to book the role. And then once I booked the role, it's like, is it going to be good? And am I going to be good? Oprah Winfrey is producing this which means she believes in me if I got the role. And so can I live up to that? And I think that, the remembering the purpose that it serves and what it's going to represent years from now is kind of what definitely pushed me. And not only that, but just the support system I have from my family and from my parents. I have a younger sister, and we watch it together, and I want her to see me and have, belief in herself, of that she's capable of greatness. That's what my parents instilled in me, and that's what I want to instill in her. And so, yeah, I just hope that I can do that not only for her, but for other girls like her, other girls like me,
Yeah. No, you definitely are. Trust me. And that's why I was saying, you do such a great job in this role. And I think, I will give kudos to Hulu because I do think they go extremely out of their way to make sure that these opportunities exist. Because a lot of times when diversity comes up, it's a show related to Hulu. So I do have to give props, like as an interviewer, because a lot of times I'm like Saint X was one that like I brought up, and there's just so many shows where they're really trying to add. And I think other people need to start taking suit and realizing that these are stories that every day people face, and you play her so well. So hopefully that will just inspire another story and another, young actor or older actor to see it and say it's possible. So you definitely did it. So congratulations on that. And I'm so happy that you want to inspire your younger sister. I think that's amazing. With my last kind of like 2 minutes ish or so, I want to make sure to ask you, with the show being so heavy, and there are light moments in the show, how would you kind of describe it to somebody if you had to do like a quick elevator pitch for why it's so important for people to watch the show? Because I really think it's critical that people sit down and watch it, and not only watch it, but then discuss it, because it's definitely, it has a lot of layers to it.
Yeah, I think what really drew me in and what draws a lot of people in is that it's a Caribbean story, and we don't get Caribbean stories on the big screen ever. And so that's a huge thing. But I think that people who aren't Caribbean should also watch it, because not only is it a Caribbean story, but it's a human story. It's a human story. And the experiences that Covey has and that all of these people are going through, it's the universal human experience, and anybody can relate to that. And I hope that it isn't just something that Black people watch or Chinese people watch or Caribbean people watch, but I hope it's something that everyone watches and can take something away from it, because there's something in it for everyone.
Yeah, there definitely is. And I think it's a universal story that, so I'm encouraging everybody to watch it. Like I said, I watched it, and I don't have, some of that in my background, and I related to it. There's a lot to relate to. I mean, just as a woman, as a younger woman, for family, financially, moving. Yeah, I mean, like there's so many things that you can really relate to it. So I give you a lot of kudos for that. And I do think there's definitely something for everyone. With my final question, I just wanted to ask you, is there anything that you want to say to fans? Because we've been huge fans. I told you, I love you so much. We've been huge fans of you. You were in like so many fantastic roles. You were in Not Okay, which was such a great film, and you were super fun in that. I mean, there's so many movies and roles that I've seen you in. There's a lot of fans like me that follow you, get really excited when you get announced for something. So I always like to give someone time to, if they don't get the honor like I do, to speak to you like this. So if there's anything that you want to say to them.
Yeah. So the thing with, fans and outside things is my parents always taught me to pay attention to the good comments as much as I pay attention to the bad comments, just to stay grounded in myself. And so normally I don't reply to like messages or comments or anything like that, just because I don't want to get caught up in it. But I am so grateful, and it's been such a journey. These past few years have been unbelievable. And I can't believe that there are that many people out there that know me. And there have been times when like people have like recognized me on the street, and I just like I can't even believe it, because I remember being a kid and being like, what if one day somebody recognizes me for acting? And like the first time that happened, I wanted to cry. And yeah, I'm so grateful, and I don't say it enough, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to say how grateful I am for people that support me and continue to support me.
Well, I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much. And like I said, I know like you probably have to go and I'm 2 minutes over. So I just want to just reiterate again, you did such a great job on the show. Honestly, I was super emotional watching it. I think you were fantastic. I've recommended it to so many people. And I just want to, like I said, congratulate you. And just remember that one day when you win that Oscar, there's the girl that's been rooting for you since day one. But I love you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, have a great rest of the day. I hope it's fantastic and that you're not bogged down by interviews all day long, but I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, you too.
All right,
Bye.
congratulations. Bye, guys.
Hope you guys enjoyed listening to Mia talk about what it was like playing Covey in Black Cake, and how she was able to stay in character, what tools she used, and how much fun she had. It was a lot of fun talking to her. I highly recommend watching the show. The show is currently available on Hulu, with new episodes premiering on Wednesdays and the finale available on December 6th. So make sure you go and check it out. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you're updated on all of our latest podcasts, and head over to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe, where you're updated on all of our video content.